What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we're back to Endzone A World Apart. Alright, so Gatherer's Cabin gathers food from the surrounding forest. However, there are many number of plants at which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by a herbal hut. The herbs are gathered there and can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health. Alright, so we need to build a herbal hut. So I assume that would probably be under food? No. Resources? There we go. And looks like you can pick and choose which kind of area, just like before. So we get about 240 here. Ooh, 410 and stuff. So we might put it like somewhere over in this way. That's right next to the farm. We could do it like right here though. What about oh, yeah, right down here. We'll just rotate it around, sort of line up with this other building. Place it like a so. So that'll be done here in a second. Assign settlers to the profession herbalist. Herbs produced. Alright, so close out of that menu, go into the professions menu. Get us a herbalist, check. And full speed ahead. Basically, it's going to take us a second to get all the supplies in the building. Once they gather all the wood and everything, we're still doing really good on supplies. Radiation protection, 45. A high level of radiation lets settlers' health dwindle away. Okay, so I guess we're doing alright so far in radiation, so it'd just be bad whenever it starts going up. Tools, scrap, wood still doing good, food's good, and water is doing great. Should take a couple more seconds for that to go. What about you? Attend to their individual needs. Unhappy settlers, improve your infrastructure. Now you know what a settler's need is. What? Is that something that comes on later on or something? 10 unassigned workforce. Okay.
We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand. Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal.
Cool. So build a charcoal kiln. Alright, so that'll be over here. And so we're gathering the wood right in this area. So let's see here. I guess this technically is our industrial area, so we could just put it down right there. That'll be built here in a second. Assign a settler to the charcoal burner. Come down over here into this tab, charcoal burner. Now, we do have a whole bunch of extra settlers, so we might just all dump them into builders right now. That way it just gets done quicker. So I assume the builders are the ones that actually go around and like carrying all the loot and stuff. Alright, so 34 professions. Looks like we had somebody die or something. Average, that's all doing good. Cool. Wait for the wood to go. Construction progress. Is there anything else we could be doing temporarily? I'm wondering how many houses that we need. So they didn't really go into it. Obviously, this little notification up here. So maybe that's saying people are homeless right now. So we go into the housing while all that is going on and get us a couple more cabins. Spin you around. We'll try to get the... Oh, that one's too close. What about over here? So we could place these two a little bit closer, or we could spread them out a little bit. Hold on. So our orchard farm's right there, so we have to do it like this. Patient attractiveness. What? It's over near the... Apparently people like over near the water. Two of those huts will get enough. Did we do his little mission? Will produce 0 out of 2. Do I need to do something? No, it just takes a minute. Sweet.
Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability.
All right, so we need a water tower.
It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern.
Recyclers built. How do you upgrade? Oh, that was easy. Upgrade in progress. All right, assign settlers to refiners. So we need 2 refiners. We need another recycler. So that'd be under resources. And I guess I'll just drop you down over here in the industrial zone. All right, so that'll be done. So we need 2 more water carriers and 2 more refiners. Over here into the profession tab. Get us a couple workers. So we want refiners. Max that out. And we want water carriers maxed out. There you are at the top. All right, instruct a recycler to produce plastic. So that's going to be done here in a second. Still full speed ahead. Everything's, oh, wow, it's already done. Nice. So I guess buildings you don't actually have to demolish and continue on. You can just click on them, and eventually, whenever you unlock the next tier, you should be able to upgrade to a bigger hut or bigger building in general. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's what these little up arrows are for. So we got workers, we got inventory, electricity. Ooh. The building is not hooked up by a power grid. So I guess you can actually go into like power grids and everything later on too. So we want to do plastic.
Water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society.
What do we need plastic for?
Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing.
All right, so we need to build a well. That's what I thought we were building originally. All right, so that would be school. Be under resources maybe? No. Water. There we go. Well. Now, does a well need to be near water, or can it just be anywhere? Looks like anywhere. So we might stick you... Well, they gotta carry the water. So maybe like right here. So I mean, it says 100% efficiency. So yeah, right there. Perfect. All right, so assign settlers to profession well keeper. So I'll be under here. Get us another well keeper. Activate the filter on your water towers. So I'd be clicking on you. And let's see. Oh, active. Nice. Instruct a tailor shop to produce active carbon mask. Right, about that. Oh. Had no clue that was the right one, but that was just convenient. So that should be good done whenever they're finished building these last neck scarves. And then let's see here, carry it over. You know you want to. Daytime efficiency 100%, nighttime 50%. So I wonder if you can have like a night shift and a day shift, sort of like in Frostpunk, to where, you know, certain buildings will actually work better in the nighttime, that way to sort of offset it a little bit. Looks like our population's back to orange, which I assume that means good. Weird. Number of rich foods. Huh. Alright, so... what are you producing? Looks like we have everything else done. I assume it's doing it? Yeah. It should just taking a minute. Okay. So it looks like actin carbon masks are actually a lot longer to produce.
Continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation.
Decontaminate post. Alright, so come on down over here. Would that be in our food? Resources. Nope. Housing? Community. Let's see. What do you guys think next? Maybe tasks for that show? No, that's just for in general. Can I just click on you? Oh, you can actually just click on this stuff? What? That's pretty cool. I had no clue that these were actually able to be clicked on. Alright, so I feel like this just needs to be close to the houses. Is it going to affect any of the... Yeah, we'll just do that. What are you? Hold on. Why do you not have anyone working? Workers. Is that because someone died or something? Foresters are all out, so let's see here. We get get us a couple of that, and a couple of that. Boom! Everybody has a job. Ish. For the most part. Job-ish. They'll be done in a second. Alright. And you are being placed on their suites.
The examination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation. It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time and again. We're going to mourn them, come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace.
Build a cemetery. And I assume we're going to build them away from the city. Ooh, this is a big boy too. Alright, so if we... Why is there a radius? That's kind of odd. Sort of like, do you just have to have it within the radius of the houses? Or what is this radius for? We'll place you there for now. Should be fine. Get us a mortician. And what is up with you? Oh, you probably just need to be chopped down. Yeah, you're at your limit. So eventually we need to figure out these storage boxes. I think we're moving a little bit too fast for the tutorial. Or maybe too slow. Whichever way you want to look at it. Save up building repairs. Alright, so that's all doing good. 9 out of 14. Oh, it actually shows the house number. 3 out of 5. Oh, so we still have room in these houses. I was sitting there thinking that we were overcramped or something. It's trying to contribute to the contentedness of the inhabitants' influence while the attractiveness of the building in the vicinity.
To quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood.
It's kind of weird that headstones automatically filled in. Like, it'd be kind of cool. I guess it'd be very weird to program, but it'd be really cool if, like, somebody died and then you start slowly seeing these start to fill in. Got it.
We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
We have a town center? Mounted bus. What? Hold on. Decontamination, technology, electricity. What are they asking for here? That's not it. Market, warehouse, dirt road, campfire, pub. So that's the campfire he was talking about. Shelter, upgraded shelter, resources, scrapyard, kindling, herbal hut, tailor shop. Jetty, cistern, electric water pump, rainwater collector, integrate. Yeah, what?
We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
What is a town center? Because I don't think we started with that, do we? Hold on. So you're just a well... Oh, wait, whoa. Bus wreck. That'd be you. Sweet.
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire, too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well. Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available.
Oh, I thought that would take us right there. There we go. Medical facility. Alright, so we probably want to... Ooh, this is a bigger building. I want to get it somewhere close to the main houses. So we do it like right there. Try to sort of get close to the mountain. Boom. Alright, so we need to assign a medic. May even do a couple of these. Ooh, we could do a whole bunch of builders. There you go. We'll do 28 for now. That should speed things up. A couple gatherers. Maybe a scrap collector. Boom. Nice. Alright, so that should speed up the building, hopefully. You need a whole lot of supplies. So they have to remove the radiation, they need to get the wood, all that stuff. Full speed ahead. Our happiness seems to be doing decent. I think it's going up a little bit. I assume the cemetery probably helps build up some of their happiness a little bit now that they can actually, you know, place someone to rest. And our adults are slowly going up and up because, I mean, we already have 60 people, 14 kids. We're doing pretty good. All right, so the radiation is fully removed. Now they're actually able to start building. Oh, this looks like another scrapyard area. Cool. So technically, if you really wanted to, you could just come over here and like assign the unbased people to like come over here and just start picking up like the random scrap and everything around the world. Why does that have a radiation symbol? Setting produces contaminated resources. That's not good. How do you purify an orchard? Huh. What about you? Limit is reached. So what could we do with you? Workers, inventory, turnover statistics. Gatherers, cabin. So if we increased you, I wonder if that would work. Demolish, change field of work. So that you just can't do anything with. Alright. Oh, already done. Are we producing medicine? Daytime work hours? So is it because it's nighttime right now? Yeah, medicine produces 0 out of 5, so it should get done here in a second.
Ensure the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term.
Okay.
While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth of your settlement. Nothing is worse than not having enough resources to provide for everyone. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too.
So we need to build one shelter. Ooh, this is a big one. So we could put it right next to the contaminated orchard. -2 attractiveness, doesn't matter. What about on here? Oh, -9, even better. So, I mean, technically right there would be the best, 'cause I mean, it's closer to the city, sort of out the way a little bit, and it doesn't have any negative effects, so sure, why not? So they got to remove all the radiation, they got to clear out the area, then they can actually start placing the supplies in, so that is all done. That's pretty cool how you can click on this little chat dialogue if you ever miss something and it just sits there and reads it to you again. So I assume this would fix all of our homeless needs. So we got 3 unassigned workers and a couple kids. Now I'm wondering if like the yellow bars on the kids mean that they're dying or something? Or maybe it's they're the closest ones to becoming an adult or something, is green and yellow is just like their maturity stages. Not exactly sure what that is yet. Alright, shelter looks done.
Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads.
And we do that.
I've already pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat to the menu.
Alright, so we need to build a hunting lodge. So that'd be you. So I'm wondering if we need to place this closest to the animals. So there's some water over here. Ooh, there's like a whole little city down here that we could explore. That's pretty cool. So the deer obviously run through our city, so I guess it doesn't really matter where we put it. So there's a group right there. So if we just sort of stick it over here near the industrial zone, it should get our crops protected too. All right, so we want to do a hunter. 2 of you. Wild boar produced. That might be a little hard because I've seen some deer. I don't think I've seen any boar around here. Let's see if we can find one while that's building, because it should be doing everything we need. So this is just old technology and stuff around the world. So I wonder if we could just hook up to like, if we took over that town, if we'd be able to just take over like a hospital or something. So those are just deer. You're telling me there's pigs around here too somewhere? I'm not seeing a single pig. Ooh. Looks pretty cool. It looks like something that could actually be useful. Is there a way to fast travel back to the base? Real question is there a way? Oh, nice. Right in the middle. I'm about to say, is there a way to like fast travel back? Map markers, reset camera, main menu. Huh. So I'm assuming we should be able to place a marker. Have this as like area 1. Boom. There we go. So if we ever get lost, we just click on 1 and it takes us back to home. Nice. That's a pretty cool little tip. I wonder if that's going to be in the tutorial and we just sort of skipped it. Alright. Oh, they actually found boars? What? Now, our mounted bus is pretty much stuck everywhere. Limited on protective clothing. Yes, that's already done. Like, are we supposed to advance in this tutorial and build like our own storage things while we continue it? Let's see here. So what would that be under? Maybe resources? So we got a lodge, scrapyard, upgraded tailor shop. Where would we store resources at?
Perfect. The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it can be indispensable during a drought because even the deer and wild boar still roam around the forest. However, wild animals can not only be shot, they can be captured too. When a wild animal has been captured, it can be brought to a pasture and served there as livestock. In order to capture wild animals, you have to instruct your hunter to do this. You also ought to set up a pasture and assign a herder.
Sweet. Reset your hunting lodge to the capture option. All right, so that would be you. And hunt and capture, or just capture, so we can capture. Build a pasture. And where would we want animals at? Probably over here near the water areas. So I mean, then they would be super close and they'd be able to, you know, just grab the water for their animals. Yeah, something like that. All right, assign herder. So that'd be down here. Just fill in some builders and, you know, just sort of get some of the basic stuff done. Another medicine, mortician, maybe even a set. Oh, you can only have one teacher? Okay then. All right, so the pasture should be built here in a second. They're going to clear out the area and everything, so that's rolling out good. Storage capacity is doing like really bad though. I didn't see any like buildings or anything that we're supposed to do, so I assume it's just because we're in a like tutorial area, so it's you know, slowly moving along instead of how you normally would play. Because everything else looks like it's just regular stuff, unless maybe it's upgrading that bus again, but it wouldn't let me do it anymore. So and we do have an issue with radiation, like our orchard fields are completely full of radiation. If I increase you, what happens? Nothing. I have no clue what the produce limit would be. So can you have like a certain amount to actually be able to do it? Alright, so our fields, yeah, pretty much everything is slowly getting more irradiated. Pasture is almost done. They just need a little bit more metal. I assume our recycler. Yeah, so he's just slowly producing it. There we go, buddy. Nice. So now that all that is done, we just have to wait for the hunters to capture a couple of animals. That'll be good. You know what'd be really cool is if this tutorial had like 4 or 5 things to work on all at once. That way, while you're waiting for them to like get the stuff for you, you can just sort of skip around some. What's all these check marks for? Oh, it's just trees being chopped down. From up here, it looks like check marks, but if you scroll in a little bit, you can see like the axe and stuff. That's pretty cool. Looks like we have another shitty down here. Interesting place. Send a scout from an expedition station to explore this site. Sounds like something else we need to build. Alright, buddy, do you have any animals yet? Nothing yet. Needs animals. Well, hopefully our hunters find some. Oh, do you have to click choose type of animal? Okay, so you can do doe or wild boars. So you can have 7 animals, 8 seconds, 160 food, or you can do the deer. Looks like 240 food. So let's just do the deer.
Captured by a hunter are brought to a pasture where they are tended to and cared for by herders. Some animals produce resources such as milk or eggs. Other animals can only be slaughtered to eat. You ought to find out for yourself which type of animal brings you which benefit. On each pasture, you can choose which type of animal ought to be kept there.
Cool.
You must provide water for the animals you keep on your pasture. This enables them to survive and reproduce. When enough animals are fully grown, the herder will start to slaughter them. If you don't want animals to be slaughtered, you can also instruct the herder not to do so. Now your herders know how they ought to handle the animals. And now that you've already captured several animals, don't forget to instruct your hunters to hunt animals again in the future so that they can continue to gather and provide food. With our increased production, our stockpile is going to run out soon. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer too. To tackle these problems, you ought to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid out.
Alright guys, on that note, that is going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.